Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of Smart Mouth. I'm your host, Catherine Spires, and before we get into the show, I wanted to give some thanks out to people. I realized that I hadn't been paying that much attention to the reviews on iTunes, and we've gotten some new ones. So thank you to everybody who's been leaving these 5-star reviews on iTunes. It's very, very nice to hear nice things about this passion project. So again, thank you so much. And then also on Patreon, thank you to everybody who's helping us out at Patreon. Our latest sponsor is someone who goes by the name E. Tong. Thank you again. We can keep paying these hosting fees, keeping this show going. And if anyone else wants to contribute as well, we are at patreon.com/smartmouthpodcast. All right, on to the show. Chris Fleming, hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Sorry, I haven't apologized for being late yet.
Oh, it's okay.
It must be really infuriating for someone to show up late in this big of a hat.
You are wearing a large hat.
I'm wearing a large pink hat.
You know,
I look like a cruel 8th grade girl.
I did almost punch you when I opened the door.
Yeah. Like there's no question I'm going to Coachella as an 8th grader.
Yes, absolutely.
So me showing up late like this must have made your blood boil.
It truly did.
Yeah.
It truly did. I had to step aside and calm down for a little bit.
I saw you shadow boxing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, now that I've settled down though,
yeah,
I think we can continue with our conversation without me. I might whip you with the microphone at some point.
I just saw you also for listeners. She just flipped a table. Also, I
know. I have to work on that.
And you flipped off your dog. You didn't need to flip off your dog.
I know. She's used to it. Sadly, it's a codependent thing.
Who's in pajamas right now? She's not wearing a collar, so she's in her PJs.
Yes, exactly. That's what I say too.
Do you really?
Accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, I say that about mine too.
Aw.
Every night.
What's your dog's name?
Lunchy.
Lunchy?
She's a bichon. Yeah.
Oh.
She won't look at me when I'm wearing this hat. She won't give me any kisses or anything.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And I think it's what you deserve.
Yeah.
No, I actually like your hat. I don't know why
you don't have to say
so
that.
hard on your own hat.
Yeah.
You purchased it, right?
Yeah.
You must have liked it.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Do you love it ironically?
No.
Okay.
No, God, no.
Okay.
No. I turned a corner like a year ago with my confidence where I didn't think I would ever be the person to wear hats, but now suddenly I did a tour and it went well, and I'm now going to be getting into hats.
Is that what it took?
Yes.
That was the 1-2 connection. Successful tour, hats.
Yes. Yeah. I did a
Nice.
good show in Seattle.
Oh, great.
And then I got into hats.
Well, it's funny. I'm from Seattle, and you strike me as a Seattle person. So I know you're not
Are
from
you serious?
Seattle, but you are such a Seattle person.
Are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely. You remind me of all of my sister Sylvia's friends. They were
Really?
all artsy types who
That's
went
so
to fashion
nice.
school and stuff like that.
Usually people, wherever I go, I get you're not from around here, are you? Even in
No.
my own driveway.
Right.
People think I'm from a cider mill in New Hampshire or something. That's I've never heard something as flattering as Seattle.
I do think that there's a sort of cultural connection between New England and Seattle, a little bit. Just happens to be culturally similar.
Well, if you put New England in the shower and you let them listen to anything that happens post 2004, then that's how you get Seattle.
Yes,
right?
I think that's accurate.
If they took night classes and stuff and
Well, it's funny because the thing that made me really, really crystallized it in my head, there's you and your personality and what I've seen of your work. I was like, oh, he would be such a Seattle guy. But then you did the
oh dear.
Adventure Dad
Sure.
video.
Yeah.
God, that rang true to me.
Okay.
So I went to prep school.
Yeah.
And you were acting like the fathers of all the boys, and even the names that you gave to the sons and everything.
Gav.
I was like this.
Yeah.
Gav. Yes.
Hey, Hayden. Yeah. Right.
And the way you talked about snowboarding, it was that is very Seattle too. So it's you got the dark side of it as well.
That was based on a guy who was locking eyes with me while his I think his sons were jumping a fence, and he was just Gavin. You did a double diamond today, bud. And just looking right at me you getting hungry, buddy? And I'm just are you giving me a little A little spiel. Why are you giving me this spiel?
He wanted to impress you on some level.
Yeah.
He wanted it. Were you at a ski slope?
I was. I was on the slope.
You were on the slope.
Yeah. I was with my own dad, who was not privy to the TED Talk that we were getting by this dad.
Lucky him. Lucky him.
Yeah.
So, for the rare person who might not be familiar with your
Oh, that's no. For the very common person, I think it's a better way to put it.
Do we call you a comedian, or is that
Taxpayer?
Okay. Taxpayer number one.
Yeah, I identify first and foremost as a taxpayer.
Okay, that's great. That's very practical of you.
Yeah, a comedian, I guess you could say that.
Or you're protesting too much and you have never paid taxes. It's one or the other.
Oh.
So, do people? Is it like cooler to say comic? I'm a comic.
That's a sleeker term. You can tell the font that person uses on their posters when they go by comic. I don't.
Okay. And your show was called Showpig, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
How'd you come up with that name? Just funsies?
I was on the phone with this Australian woman, and she was like, "What are you trying to prove?" And I was like, "I'm a show pig, Avi. All right, just grease me up and send me to market." It was about like my show. Like, what am I trying?
Yes.
Like, I was trying to branch out from this like web series that I've been doing for a long time, and I was trying to like prove that I am, a well versed performer, and so that came out as me describing myself, identifying as a show pig.
That's great.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
And the persona you're talking about is Gail Waters, right?
That's correct.
Yes. Do you still have fun doing that?
Oh, I haven't done that in a long time.
So you stopped having fun doing
Well, no. Well, it tore my family apart because it was my friends and family doing it, and like it was just too much.
Was it really?
Yeah. It was ruinous. We had a great time, but it was just like.
Okay. Do you mean like emotionally hard on them, or like in terms of like scheduling?
Scheduling.
Okay. All right.
No, the emotional weight wasn't that bad.
Got it. Got it. Okay. You never know.
Yeah.
In
no,
the
you're
arts.
right. No, you really don't.
So, I noticed.
Thank you for having me, by the way. Have I thanked you?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm so glad that you're here.
Yeah.
It's great, and I love that the topic came together organically because I noticed on. Okay, now I'm about to get weird. Michelle always makes fun of me for what she says I'm creepy. I think I'm just
in this age. No, like you can't be creepy because everyone's just putting it all out. Like it's not creepy.
Yes.
Unless you're like,
She's like, how do you know that your ex-boyfriend from 5 years ago even said that? I'm like, well, he said it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Anyway, so on
Facebook, like my cousin told me that my ex is getting married because like that's how grotesque Facebook is now. That
exactly.
Like I'm still friends with my ex's exes on Facebook.
That's too much.
It's too much. I should kind of change that, right?
That's how I know that you're younger than me for sure. You do that sort of nonsense.
Wait, why?
That is so millennial. To be like, we're all friends and it's fine. And I definitely don't have any feelings about it.
Yeah. I do keep in touch with my exes, which is like starting to take its toll.
Yeah. How did you feel when your cousin informed you of the upcoming wedding?
My knees did buckle a little bit. Like I thought I was over it. Like I thought I was like, it was like a little like.
Yeah.
Ay!
Yeah.
Just because she was telling me, like we were having a great time,
Yeah.
And then I don't know. It leveled me for a second, but then I was like, okay, that's
right.
Okay.
And I think that's to be expected. On March 21st.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
You said that's fine.
On March 21st.
Yes. You said that your senior citizen neighbor Kat called you while you were drinking boba.
Yeah. She's this. Well, okay. I was being a little romantic with senior citizen. She's not that old. She's a dog walker by profession, and so I see her between maybe 50 and 60 times a day, like just kind of just zooming by my window, like at eye level with me.
Sure.
And she's very, very curious, and she's the kind of person who will say something to you like she'll be like 50 yards away and she'll be walking two dogs and she'll start the conversation like mid conversation. She'll be like won't say hi or anything. She'll just be like, they're sisters, but they don't like each other. And it's like, oh wow, okay, we're not saying hi today. Or like the small one's actually hungrier than the big one. And it's like, oh wow, oh hey Sarah, okay. okay, we're skipping pleasantries and we're going right to cold hard facts. But this day she like made a sound. It was like I was like washing my Vespa, which I mean, which you could argue I was asking for this.
Sure, absolutely.
It was like that's one of like those old scenes of like scrubbing cars, and I was
Were
like,
you wearing cutoffs?
I was wearing these short yellow corduroys.
All right.
And
See?
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I knew the risks and I took them. And she said something like Yahoo, or no, it was more sexual than Yahoo.
Nothing is more sexual.
No,
than Yahoo.
yeah, you're right. Yahoo. I think she like wolf whistled, and she's usually so civil. And so I was like, damn, Sarah.
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting.
And I was definitely hitting the boba at that point.
Well, I feel like it might have. I mean, I don't know you. This is the first time we met, but that picture.
You don't know me.
Your facial expression was very sensual, and I don't know which came first. You know what I mean? Were you already revved up, or did Sarah rev you up?
I don't think so. Well, Sarah probably gave me gave me a little boost, but no boost could compare to what the boba was doing to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I take one sip of that boba and I hear, what's that? Is it Donna Lewis or Donna Summer? The I love you always for. You ever hear that song?
Yes.
But you know the remix of it? It's like a Blue Man Group remix.
I'm not sure.
It's like it's
So
by
it's intense.
yeah, and
the
then like
way
a
that
little
you
bit of the
feel.
Troll soundtrack starts playing.
Right. Yes.
Every song from the Troll soundtrack.
All of them at once in your brain.
I was backstage at a show. I was doing this show at Ithaca College, and this girl came up to me and she was like, "Oh, you went to the boba place downtown?" And I thought that I had thrown away my boba. I didn't know that she was like looking at it. I thought just from my vibe, she could tell I was fucked up on boba. So I got like paranoid. What do you mean? How do you know that?
Do you have a preferred flavor of the tea when
Yeah.
you get
Oh,
boba?
oh yeah.
What is it?
Well, I'm a very like old crabby person about routines. As soon as I find something I like, I commit to it until I loathe it. So like
Sure.
I've listened to Fast Car by Tracy Chapman like exclusively for the last 15 years. Like
Wow.
that's like the only song I listen to.
You must be really be in a mood.
Yeah. But it's always passion fruit, green tea
Okay.
with boba and lychee.
and
yeah.
lychee.
Oh yeah.
You like a lot of texture.
I like a lot of sweet.
Okay.
Oh no, I do like it is a house party and boba.
Yeah.
Yeah, boba's. I missed when people started doing it in 08 or 09.
Is that okay?
Like
That
I
was
saw
the
my
year,
friends doing it,
Uh-huh.
and then I was kind of like, I'm kind of like anti-establishment.
Oh, such
and,
a badass.
And so I know. And so I like don't until like the dust is settled. Then I kind of like crawl in and scavenge like the trend.
I like it.
And even though like now I think boba's definitely having a resurgence because there's like a boba store like in my house.
Right,
There's like
right.
so many. There's like 2 on my block.
And you live in the eastern part of LA County, right?
I sure do.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
Because I'm creepy. Michelle could have told you.
No, you're not. No. If you knew the coordinates, then I would be.
You
a
don't know
little...
that I don't know them. I'm just not
No,
saying
you're
them.
right. The latitude and longitude.
Because there's so many Chinese immigrants in your part of LA County.
Oh, absolutely.
And
yeah.
it's a Taiwanese specialty.
Yeah. Right.
But before we go on and get into the history, I do want to say that catcalling with Sarah, that wasn't the only time that boba has been brought up by you on your social media.
No, people. Yeah, no, it's been a bit of an obsession.
On May 1st,
Okay.
you said, "No, the boba doesn't change the taste of the tea. It is a quiet roommate." And I feel like you were having a real contemplative moment with that.
Yeah.
But to what you were saying, it's like the element. It's sort of like
I was
the
skipping
Brits.
stones at
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the passion fruit and the lychee, that's the excitement. And
No, exactly.
the boba is like the standard bearer.
Right. The lychees. Yeah. I mean, those are like that's the life of the party.
Yeah.
The boba.
But the party wouldn't get organized if it weren't for the boba.
No, the boba's the life partner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
that quote I had said momentarily. I don't know why I wrote it on Twitter, but I told like a woman I barely know that I was like talking to her. She was like, and I've been like cornering family members at like family parties and being like, hey, like I don't know if you've tried like boba, but I like have it like if I don't have it every day at like 3 p.m. I don't know what I'll do.
Oh God.
But like because I used to be, I would freak out around 3 p.m. and then I would go to Donut Friend in Highland Park. It's like a vegan donut place, and that would be like my go-to because I am like I have like a hummingbird diet. Like I need like this kind of incredible sweetness every day. Otherwise, I'm like I don't know what will happen to me.
Do you eat a sweet breakfast as well?
No, and I don't.
Okay, so it's just like the 3 p.m. pick me up.
Yeah,
that must happen.
Yeah, at like 2:55, I just start like kind of.
Got it.
You know.
Got it. Okay.
Getting the chills.
Well, I'm glad that boba is there for you.
Oh, it has completely changed everything for me. It's like it's like I don't need the donuts anymore. I just need the boba.
That's beautiful.
Did you also see I made a brief song about boba?
I don't know if I saw it. I can't remember.
It was about, I liked the idea of somebody turning their back. The line was, I know you want me, but all I want is boba tea. And it was like, I liked the concept of somebody kind of turning their back on like sex or anything and just kind of committing their life to boba tea.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's not that strange. There's a nunnery in upstate New York where they make cheesecakes.
Oh, wow.
I feel like maybe that's kind of...
It's the same idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Committing your life to cheesecake.
I bet they're really phallic cheesecakes.
Oh, can you imagine?
Because, I mean, that's going to... Horniness finds a way, you know?
Boy, howdy. Does it ever.
Boy, howdy.
Okay, so like I think mentioned, or not, boba comes from Taiwan. And in Southeast Asia, desserts there, they have a lot of the elements there that are now in boba. There's like, cubes of jelly and candied yams and, really sugary red beans.
A cube of jelly. How does it maintain its structure?
Jelly in like the Jell-O sense.
Got it.
Cubes of
not like Smucker's
sweet,
jam, not
right,
like PB&J
exactly.
cube.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
And then a lot of like condensed milk. Mm-hmm. Which partly because it's sweet and partly because a lot of East Asian people are lactose intolerant. So do condensed milk. It's the perfect solution.
I did not know that.
If you've got a sweet tooth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It is very tasty.
Yes, so good. And do you know halo halo, the Filipino dessert?
Mm-mm.
It has all of those things in it. And also shave ice and sometimes ice cream. And it's like a...
Halo halo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you said that, I saw the movie poster for Shallow Hal.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to put that in your brain.
But it's not that. It's not that. It's not a spin-off of that.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not.
It's called Halo Halo.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And it just has all that stuff in it in like a the milkshake tins? When you order a milkshake, it has the glass, but then the tin. It comes in a container that's more like the tin.
Okay.
So it's like an enormous milkshake with 5 million things in it as well.
It's a house party.
It's a complete house party. If you haven't had one, and for anyone in LA or coming to visit LA, in Grand Central Market, there's a stall called Sorry Store. Sorry being S-A-R-I.
I'm going to write this down.
You should. Their halo halo is the best I've ever had. It's a huge dessert. This one I did not want to share.
Yeah. You want it to go under a bridge.
Yeah.
And hiss at passersby.
Yeah. And call it my precious, for sure.
Yeah. So sorry, and hello.
Yeah. Okay. So hello, and all these sweet desserts with lots of gelatinous, chewy kind of things in them.
Yes. I love textures.
Yes, you do. You like a
my
little
teeth
chew.
are very tactile.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So tapioca balls were part of that. And the oldest, bubble tea probably started pretty simply. You just had the tapioca balls. You put some liquid in there. If you wanted to make it cold, maybe you would put some shave ice in it. And then the condensed milk to thicken it up. Maybe a little honey. Probably in the hot ones. Do you like honey? You look like you like honey.
Yeah, I had a spoonful yesterday.
Do you do that for allergies?
No, I'm so unself-aware of my physical state that I don't even know when I'm allergic to something. Like, I don't know if I'm having allergies or not, but I'm sure I am right now. it's a lot of repression going on.
Oh my gosh, that's interesting.
I don't know.
Do you notice when you sneeze? You wouldn't know if you notice when you sneeze.
I love a sneeze. No, I notice a sneeze.
Okay.
I love to power sneeze if I'm alone, just like, yeah, and let it, yow. You know? Sorry, Michelle. Michelle just blew back against the wall, and her glasses flew off. Yeah.
But at least we've all gotten your point now.
Hey, I'll just go.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's exciting. That must keep your day spicy.
Thank you. What's exciting? What was it? Sneezing?
Well, you never know when a power sneeze is going to come. It just hits you, and you
Right.
probably have to stand up to get the leverage you want behind it.
Yeah.
A little break in your day.
You got to learn how to do things seated, though. Because when people audition you always have you like practice the audition standing.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, take a seat. And you're like, how the hell am I going to express anything in this chair? But then you're like, you watch audition tapes and like everyone, like Elliot from E.T., homeboy's sitting.
Oh gosh, how boring.
Yeah, I don't know how you can.
Is that just because they've locked the camera and they don't want to have to move it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really funny. Oh my goodness. So this is something that we've talked about actually before on the show in the episode with Jenny Yang in particular when we were talking about salad bars.
You called Jenny Yang a multi-hyphenate. I was afraid you were going to sling that to me.
Were you afraid of it?
Oh, yeah. I could barely get in, work up the courage to knock on the door with the threat of you calling me a multi-hyphenate.
Which part? Is it the pretentiousness? Is it the...
I don't know why I said that.
Well, we were talking about trend forecasting and how there's people who get paid to forecast trends and say what's coming.
Trend meteorologist?
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
my word.
What's funny is that I've heard a lot...
Do they all work for GoPro? I imagine they all work for
Yes.
GoPro. Yeah.
Those things are very much tied together.
Yeah.
I think in fashion, the forecasting kind of works because they... But in food, the more I read... When I read interviews from, previous decades...
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
From previous decades where they talk about the food, what people are going to be doing for food, it's always wrong so far. So in 1999, the San Francisco Examiner did an article about boba, and they had someone who is the director of something called the Trends Research Institute. I don't want to name him because what he said gives one pause.
You want me to name him?
No.
Okay.
He said, the article said, an expert in American tastes and trends doubts a tapioca drink will ever be widely embraced here being the U.S. He is quoted as saying, unless you're going to have some kind of mystical ancient Chinese power from drinking it, it's not going anywhere. Yikes. Zoinks.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So he was wrong.
Does he still have a job?
Gosh, I couldn't even look into it. I
Yeah.
saw the quote and I was like, I have to quote that.
Mark
but
now
I don't
substitute
want to know more.
teaches in Tallahassee.
Yeah, exactly. Just didn't want to know.
And is divorced. It honestly does give you a mystical power.
Well, I mean,
boba.
clearly, I think he had never had it.
Oh, definitely not.
Obviously,
No,
right?
definitely
He
not.
didn't know what he was talking about.
No. He has no idea.
I would just want to throw in here real quick. When I was researching this, I remembered that I emailed Starbucks a couple years ago.
Oh, dear.
And I said, are you guys getting boba? It's real hot. It's the new hotness. The youths love it.
You have their email address?
I just did like marketing at Starbucks.com
yeah.
or something like that.
Smart. Wow. Did they respond?
They did.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah.
We got your emails.
At 3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. It's when I do my best work.
Yeah.
They were
all
so
in caps.
non-committal. I know. But the response was so non-committal
Right.
that I'm pretty sure they are planning on releasing boba drinks.
A big boba unveil.
They just don't want to give me my cut because I think I gave them the idea.
I would think that. Oh, right. You should definitely demand.
I mean, they were like,
85%.
no plans. That's it, the whole response. Yeah,
Never heard
okay.
of it.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem with boba, they would need to like double their space because
True.
boba is like
True.
that is a hefty roommate.
It's a bulbous yeah, it's a quiet and hefty roommate. I guess we should back up a little bit and actually talk about what boba is. We're just throwing the term out there.
Oh, that's absolutely right.
Yes. Okay. So especially because even in North America, regionally, people call it different things.
Yeah, a lot of people just bubble tea.
Bubble tea. Yeah.
On the road, though, when I was doing colleges like a month ago, like it's shockingly ubiquitous.
Calling it boba,
or just the stores.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
in
yeah.
places you would never expect.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's a sweet treat.
It's an absolutely sweet treat.
You can put caffeine in it and feel, because I think
That's what I think it is. I've never had caffeine before.
Is that true?
Yeah, I've never had coffee in my life.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my taste buds they never evolved.
I don't like coffee either.
Really?
It's too strong. And I do mean the flavor.
Yeah.
I too am a baby.
I wish the podcast could have picked up on the physical theater that you just did.
Yeah. See,
It's too strong.
This is why this needs to be a Twitch channel also.
Right.
So people can
Catherine
get the
put
full
up her hand
picture.
and did the stop in the name of love.
Stop.
It's too strong.
It's too strong. No, thank you. No, sir. I guess calling it bubble is more of an East Coast and a Europe thing.
Yeah, I don't like calling it bubble tea.
It's
condescending.
Yes, to yourself maybe even.
Oh, you can have a little bubble
Having
tea.
a little bubble tea.
Or you
'cause
go
I'm
over
so
there with
cute.
your bubble tea.
Yeah.
No, it's boba.
Which means big titties, but what doesn't?
Does it?
Really? Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's slang for either like big tatas or a woman with big tatas.
In what language? In Taiwanese?
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if it's like an official word or just like something that, teenage boys say or something like that.
That's amazing how like it's so fun to say and I didn't know why and like I'm just tapping into this almost ancestral joy.
Yes.
Of saying you're getting away with saying something that you shouldn't be saying in a store.
Exactly. And when you hear that boba means tetas, you're not surprised.
No,
it's just
no.
It's kind of an onomatopoeia.
It is. It absolutely boba. Yeah. But it almost desexualizes the breasts in a way. Boba, maybe because of what I think of as this very whimsical, kind of gravity-defiant dessert, which I guess is also,
Who wouldn't want their tits described that way? Frankly.
A whimsical gravity-defiant dessert.
Yeah, I think
right.
that's so nice.
That is nice. Yeah,
that's a very like romance novel for women kind of description
CVS
of
novel.
it. Yes, yeah, I'm into it. That could be, if you went into romance novel writing, you could be a multi-hyphenate.
Thank you.
Just like Jenny Yang.
Thank you.
You could reach her levels.
I think what I was afraid of is how quickly you dropped the multi-hyphenate bomb. Like, it was like, hi, welcome back to the multi-hyphenate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to like peel back the layers too much, but we had been having a conversation with Jenny before we started recording about it, which is something that sometimes happens.
Right. You do the guerrilla recording where like I was somehow laved up when I was on like Temecula or whatever that alley. I was wandering that alleyway for a while, and I tried to like get into a locked gate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no. Did you take Lyft or Uber here?
Oh no, I drove.
Oh, and you still got it silly. Okay. Well, all right.
I still got it silly.
Yeah. Well, these things happen.
Yeah. Yeah. But then I
anyway.
somersaulted down here and
To keep it silly.
Yeah.
You're so on brand all the time. That's your whole life thing.
Yep.
Yes.
Very silly.
So silly.
Even when I'm alone.
Yeah, because if you don't practice that muscle, then it'll go away and you won't have that anymore.
The silly bone.
And then you'll just be not silly.
I can't believe that you've informed me that boba means.
But maybe it doesn't
means.
Anymore. Because maybe the drink version, even in Taiwan, has become
kind of covered up that.
Yeah. But having said that, I do think that's why in Taiwan they called it pearl tea a lot.
Pearl
they gave
tea.
it this like much more sophisticated,
but also sexual, right?
If you're in a mood,
isn't that?
I don't think it is. I truly don't know what you're talking about. And usually I'm disgusting. So
I don't even want to get into it.
Okay, fair.
It's very, very uncivil, and probably something I'm even just imagining in my own mind, like imagining slang.
Okay.
And so as you were saying,
tapioca comes from yucca or cassava. Which is like a tuber type situation.
Oh yeah.
The flower of it is sometimes called manioc too. It's native to Brazil, the plant, but it's used worldwide. It once it has reached maturity and is harvestable, you can cut and it's ready to harvest again 2 months later. So it's like a year-round plant that you can eat. It has almost no vitamins or anything good for you in it, but it's extremely carb heavy. So in times of need, especially, it becomes a go-to food because it like lasts it grows year round. It'll fill you up.
But it makes you can't really accomplish anything when you're on it.
Perhaps not.
You can sit in a rocking chair.
Yeah. Which maybe is all you need.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So what you do to make the flour, because it's used to make essentially breads, you take the plant, you pulp it, you smash it, and then you squeeze it, and you let all the liquid that comes out of it evaporate, and the solids that are left are the flour.
Wow.
Yeah. And then when you're having something like tapioca, as in tapioca pudding, it's just reconstituted to come back to that sort of gelatinous state.
Could you explain tapioca? What is tapioca pudding? Is it like, are there balls of tapioca in the pudding, or is it part of the pudding?
So the balls of tapioca are mixed with, Matilda says, no, thank you, no tapioca pudding.
Yeah.
Which is a common complaint.
Right.
You just mix it with milk or something. So it's like instead of chocolate, you put the tapioca into it.
Right.
And then the dairy product, and you make a pudding off of that. So here's the thing, though, is that the tapioca pudding that we eat in America and Northern Europe, it's that really small tapioca. Growing up, we called tapioca pudding fish eggs and glue because they look like little fish eggs or fish eyeballs.
Yeah.
Did you eat tapioca pudding?
I've never had tapioca pudding.
Okay,
I thought it was a Great Depression era dessert.
Yeah, because it's not great.
Yeah.
It's very much associated, I think, with like school lunches. Not anymore, but old-timey school lunches.
Right. There's a sterile vibe to it.
Right, exactly. So, but that's just because I don't know the plural, the tapiocas for the pudding.
Tapioca?
Yes. Were cut that size.
Okay.
So with boba, they're bigger because they're just cut bigger. So you smash it, you make it, you reconstitute a little bit, and then you cut it to whatever size you want.
So that's probably why the tapioca pudding never really fully took off, because if they're small, that's kind of creepy, and you're like, oh, is there what's in here?
Yeah,
but if they're big,
right, then you're working with something.
It's thrilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: is that the tapioca balls in boba, the tea,
yes,
are usually almost black.
Right.
So, I had heard the idea presented as fact that that's what a tapioca is, and that it's like the whole tapioca, and then for tapioca pudding, where it's just the little white clear things, that's when you like take off the outer part of a tapioca.
You undress it.
Yes. This is not the case at all. Everyone who believes that, you can disabuse yourself of that immediately.
That's just a rumor.
Completely wrong.
A complete misnomer.
Yeah, because it's just getting like a little paste and cutting it to a different size, and then it reconstitutes into a bigger shape.
So someone just whispered that to you in an alley once.
Yes, and I believed it for so long.
Yeah.
That's all he does. He goes around whispering that into people's ears, and that's why so many people believe it.
Get over here.
But the reason it's that color, that dark, almost black color, is just food coloring.
Oh.
That's it.
So if it weren't that, it would be kind of an unappetizing beige of sorts.
And you can still get it that way, and that's another reason why it was called pearl, because, in its unreconstituted state, it does look quite like a pearl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now there's some places, I never see these in LA, but you can get like pink and green, like pastel Easter egg colored bobas as well. Now I like to keep it classic.
Yeah, I haven't even asked you about your boba fix. I mean, how often are we talking?
As often as possible without getting in the car, so that limits me.
Oh, I thought you meant like you don't want to drive after you've had the boba.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
I like it with the taro milk tea.
Ooh, I love taro.
So good. And they add that purple coloring to it also, so it looks pretty.
Oh, right.
Very Instagrammable, especially if you've gotten a manicure. Oh, come on.
Oh, say goodnight.
Yeah, I like that flavor, but that's just like, again, starch on starch. You're getting the tapioca and you're adding taro flavor to it.
Yeah, how unhealthy is boba tea?
Well, what we're talking here is sugar.
Right. It's a lot of sugar, right?
So much sugar.
Oh, yeah.
And I gotta expect, there was an article I read from the 90s where they were again, like introducing tapioca or boba tea to white people, essentially.
Yeah.
And they were asking all these boba shop owners how to make it. And she kind of mentioned that they sort of aggressively wouldn't tell her what was in it. Now, I think we know that that's because it was store-bought or warehouse-bought, rather.
Yeah.
They weren't making their own tapioca, which is something you can do. You can buy the tapioca flour and work with boiling water and shaping and molding and stuff like that, and you can make it. But there's factories that make boba.
So I should ask if you're making your own boba at my Simply Boba place in
ask
South
it in
Pasadena.
a defensive posture.
Wearing boxing gloves.
Yes, because it seems like, maybe it's changed, but it seems like people don't care for that question.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, because they don't, people never want to admit that they aren't making everything from scratch. But
yes,
it was
right.
made in a factory. There's probably preservatives and whatnot added to it.
Oh, I would hope so.
When you're buying in bulk. There's been some...
They claim to be organic at this place that I go to.
What does organic mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank you for the snaps. I appreciate it so much. There was a thing where in Germany, they tested some tapioca balls from boba shops and said that they had all kinds of, added chemicals and poisons and stuff. But when it comes to white people saying that Asian foods are bad for you, like poisonous and will give you brain lesions and stuff, there's a long and racist history of that.
Oh, of course.
Whether it's true or not, who knows?
Right.
We don't know.
My friend read me the ingredients of Krispy Kreme donuts one time when I was eating a Krispy Kreme donut. And there's like ammonium and like tires and like it's...
Yeah.
I pulled the car over and I casually vomited.
Did you really?
Yeah. With that, I just kept, like almost like a sneeze. I didn't even tell him what I was doing. Just pulled the car over as he kept reading the ingredients. Got out. We were driving like from Chicago to Massachusetts, and then I just walked to the edge of the forest and just casually vomited.
But was it a physical reaction? I mean, were you like, oh God, this is making me sick? Or were you like, oh, I can't have this in my body. It's time to get rid of it.
It was somewhere between the two.
Interesting.
And then, I mean, all the power to that, my friend, because I do think that is the most powerful position a person can be in, just making someone throw up just by talking to them.
I would go wild with power if
it's
I
like
could ever
Hannibal
do
Lecter
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
incredible to be able to do that.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, think about what you could get done.
Yeah, so much. Oh, the power. Ooh,
Yeah.
God, that's
Yeah.
dangerous.
It's dangerous.
You have to know how to handle that kind of power.
So you were saying, well, first of all, where do you know where I also love to go for boba? I think the best boba I've ever had is Pine and Crane in Silver Lake.
Ah, yes.
Do you like that place?
I'm such a weirdo. I don't know if I do like it.
Oh, I mean, you know a lot more, obviously, about food than I.
No. It's just taste buds. It's just people's taste buds. Whether something tastes good or not, immaterial. Who cares?
Yeah.
Also, there's always a line out the door for the place. So if I don't like it, I'm wrong.
Right.
If we're saying things are right or wrong in terms of taste, I'm wrong. People go nuts for that place. So just because I don't go crazy for it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So many people do.
I love it.
Yeah, why not?
So much.
And they have boba there.
Passion fruit. That's, oh my God. They give you like this like actual like passion fruit juice in the boba tea. And like the seeds are in there.
Do they add dairy to that?
No.
Okay, so you're the shaken tea boba guy.
Yeah. I don't mess with the dairy.
Oh, I see.
With boba, I mean.
With boba.
Yeah, I'll hit the cheese block, but I won't. But with the boba, I don't.
Okay.
I like to keep things, kind of in their own food pyramid group. I'm not.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
All the little food twitches that people have are so interesting because they all come from nothing.
Right.
It's just like ideas that we've invented and will die by.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm very, I've been called, people get upset because I never like to mix flavors.
Okay. All right.
And
in your own personal home, do you have those?
In my mud hut.
In your mud hut?
Yeah.
Do you have those plates that have the sections in them, like a cafeteria tray?
No, I don't.
You can buy those.
Because even then, like, that's the thing. I just do one thing at a time. Like, very simple. Like, that's that.
Oh, so if you're cooking for yourself, it's just one dish.
One thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I see. What do you cook for yourself?
Quesadillas a lot of the time. I just made some granola for myself. This like olive oil granola.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of fancy.
Well, that's the thing. Like, my sister will occasionally send me like a recipe and be like, Chris, this is from the Maribatso book. Like, you know Maribatso. And I'm like, no, okay, I don't. Chris, you do know Maribatso. Like, you know that. Come on, you know that. And then I'm just, okay, I guess I know that. And I make it, and I love it.
Do you feel compelled to make the recipes that she sends you?
Only if I've tried them first, and I get really into that. If they're really good.
Like if you've eaten someone else's version of it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
I would never just like randomly cave dive into a recipe. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. So I used to be the food editor at LA Weekly right before it was demolished by the group of alt-right bros that bought it, the Trump voters that currently own LA Weekly.
Wait, I thought LA Weekly just moved to LAX or something. Oh, that's LA Times. Okay.
Yeah.
They have
Actually, they're moving in opposite directions because they're going deep to the west side, and LA Weekly is moving from deep west side to downtown LA.
Oh, wow. So LA Weekly, that's a much better spot. Wait. LA Weekly got taken over by alt-right Trump bros?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
And they fired all the editors.
Oh, my God. How did that happen?
Well,
They just bought it.
yes, but there definitely was some sort of malfeasance going on. Okay. Clarifying statement. I don't know any of the facts. My feeling is that the previous owners, Voice Media Group, it was irresponsible of them to sell it to these.
When you say malfeasant, is that a Pokemon? What is malfeasant?
There was malfeasance.
Oh, okay.
The act of
that's
being
a GRE word.
Yeah.
If I ever, that's not even an SAT. That's a GRE word.
You know, I got perfect scores on all the standardized tests, so I'm like that.
Wait.
Oh no, what's happening?
Could you say that one more time? This is gonna be good. This is gonna be really good. Say it. Wait. Okay, say that one more time, just like casually.
I got perfect scores on all the standardized tests.
Wow. Who was that guy? Wow.
You're right. That was perfect.
Yeah.
That was absolutely perfect. Yeah.
So tell me more about these malfeasance. That's great about this perfect scores.
Thank you so much. Clearly, it's affected my life. This palatial home you find yourself in.
I love your home.
Because of those perfect scores.
Yeah,
it really has real life meaning.
Yeah, of course. Teach the test.
Yeah.
I used to be an SAT tutor when I first moved out here.
Why?
I just needed a job.
Okay.
And I did it for like a long time.
Did you enjoy it?
I loved it.
Aw.
It was so fun.
Did you like working with youths? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Sorry. So malfeasance about LA Weekly.
These some of the owners, this consortium of men was put together just to buy LA Weekly, and some of them used to work for or were fellows at something called the Claremont Institution, whose stated goal is to infiltrate progressive institutions and change their voice. LA Weekly has published almost no news stories since they took over, and if silencing isn't, I mean, yes, they haven't written pro-Trump stories. They just haven't written any stories.
They're okay.
Yeah, it's like that. Anyway.
Wow. I love the idea of the alt-right, like, and then they get writer's block.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they like, oh.
This actually related. I had a point, but I do get so worked up.
I don't think they all like that. Like, even conservatives, I don't think can ever really do that well because of their handle on graphic design. Like, I don't think like their fonts
1,000%
they'll never have good fonts, and that makes me sleep a lot easier at night.
They have absolutely no style.
No style. No. It's horrific graphic design.
Yeah.
And like the NRA stuff, it's like,
they're so
how could
embarrassing.
anyone just get on board that just on style alone?
I think it's because truly creative people won't work for them for any amount of money, so they have to put up these YouTube videos that were like shot in garages.
I know. No, it's beautiful. That's
so horrifying. Yes.
Yeah.
All that is
Janelle
to say,
Monáe's lighting designer is never going to help.
No, for no amount of money. Would never happen. Her costumer, absolutely not.
No.
It couldn't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely.
It's kind of that's a relief that I don't think enough people are talking about. I saw LCD Sound System the other night. Messed up on Boba, truly. And I had mezcal actually with my friends before. Have you ever had mezcal? Like, talk about like how my taste buds have not evolved. Like, mezcal to me tastes like a condominium on fire. It was very serious.
Actually, don't totally disagree with you. honestly,
Okay,
I've
so-
described it as, I think I can appreciate it because it's kind of my job to know how to appreciate stuff that I don't even like. But to
Yeah.
me, it actually tastes like rubber.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
maybe it's just, okay, maybe it's not a lack of development on my end. Maybe
No, you're
it's-
perfectly cultured.
Damn. I'm blushing. But Karen O at one point, I may have been tripping out on Boba, but she opened for LCD Sound System, and then during LCD Sound System's set, she came out on stage, I think, to ask the lead singer what their Airbnb code was so she could go home.
Oh my God.
I don't think this happened, but I think I imagined it happening and then told everyone that was happening.
Golly.
Everyone around, hey, did you see Karen O? And then like, did you see Karen O? Then like she like shimmied up that flagpole and like blew her nose on the American flag. Because Karen O is like feral. Like she's like unpredictable.
Oh.
Do you know Karen O?
I mean, I know who she is. I don't know her like you know her, clearly.
I think I'm projecting a lot onto Karen O.
That might be unfair of you.
Anyway, sorry. So we were talking about...
Oh, I started going off on the
Malfeasance.
new LA Weekly because sometimes people still think I'm there and they tweet abusive things at me. And I'm like, that wasn't me.
About food?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you not familiar with the way that foodies get?
Of course.
It's vicious.
Of course they
People
do.
will say horrible things.
Right.
They'll put curses on your whole family if you don't like the same fucking pizza spot that they like. It's absurd.
They'll hex your grandparents.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it makes me crazy because there's various like forums and whatnot for food enthusiasts, and they get so angry about food, and I think this is your hobby.
Right.
If you hate it and you hate everyone involved in it so much, take up something else.
Yeah, right.
Here I am, I get paid to talk and write about these things, and I'm like, it's like, I don't know, do what you want.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
the end of every article.
Yeah.
This place is great, but if you don't like it, I really don't give a shit.
Well,
Don't
that's
talk to
because
me
you're
about
probably
it.
you truly like it, right? And you don't. If you truly like something, you don't really feel the need to get people. You don't feel the
Yeah.
need to be like an evangelist. If you truly believe in something, I think, unless you're like,
I think that there's some of that
Jehovah's
to it.
Witness,
I think
but-
that some people
yeah,
are maybe insecure about what they like and don't like, so
Yeah,
they
yeah,
take it a
right.
lot more personally.
right.
My point is, like, eat what you want to eat. Don't eat what you don't want to eat. Who cares? So what?
What should I eat?
Whatever you want.
But what would you recommend? Just like looking at me, what do you think I'm missing? My girlfriend's psychologist saw a picture of me
Yeah?
and said, he needs to eat more root vegetables. He's not grounded enough. He's up in the clouds.
Was this person a licensed doctor?
Have you ever seen The Dark Crystal? The
Okay,
Jim Henson
yes.
film? She would remind you a lot of one of those birds, those like
Interesting.
ancient birds that just like makes these sounds and like throws out these concepts. I mean, she's a very interesting woman, but
Interesting is not what you want from a mental health practitioner.
see that is a very true thing, and I think looking for interesting, trying to amass interesting people, and like at the behest of actually getting something like a helpful psychologist, I think has been a flaw in my life.
Go boring.
And in my go for someone who's going to just do the job.
Go J. Crew the whole way.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to
Go Banana Republic.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know. Sometimes they have a lot of satin. Even Banana
true.
Republic might be too exciting.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a nutritionist, which also helps me be like, eat whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
I truly have no idea how it affects your body.
Right.
That's not true. I do, but it's not my business.
So do you think that like the overly sugary things,
Mm-hmm.
like do those kind of like hit you? Like, do you not like that? Like Mike's Hard Lemonade. How would you react to Mike's Hard Lemonade?
That's so sweet. But the thing is that tastes evolve. Largely, it's a physical thing because their taste buds on our tongue, they really do wear down as we age. So, when people talk about things like babies are picky eaters, they're not doing it on purpose. They have fresh new taste buds.
So
everything is extreme.
Everything's raw.
Yeah, exactly. And the older we get and we think that we like are becoming more sophisticated, we're not. Our taste buds are just dying away. They're rubbing down and basically growing calluses over our tongues. So things just don't affect us as much. I know that for me, like I can't eat spicy food very well. But I can eat a lot more of it than I used to be able to when I was a kid. It was just like a non-option.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. I still can't handle spicy.
Well, you will be able to
When
the
I'm
more your
90.
taste buds rub off. I drank so much Zima, is that what it is?
Sure,
In
yeah,
college.
yeah.
And then one time, it wasn't even 3 years after college, I was visiting my boyfriend at the time's younger brother who was still in college. We got some Zima because we thought it was funny. I took a sip and I said, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I think
can't.
Zima got outlawed, I think, by NASA in like '04. So then it became like Four Loko, I think, took over.
Right.
And then like all
It's
those
the fake
teens.
sugar.
Yeah.
The young people can't get enough of it.
I still drink that stuff, like stuff that's designed to get children into alcohol. That's the stuff that I
That
like
you
go to
like.
the liquor store and happily buy.
I mean, so far, boba is the topic at hand. You've talked about that. Other than that, the only food you've particularly mentioned is donuts.
Yeah, I'm the Easter Bunny.
There's so much morality tied up with talking about what people eat.
Right.
And I truly think
Morality tied. Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, what do you mean morality tied up? I mean, I think I know what you mean.
Well, there's the whole like people think that if you're fat, you're a moral failure. I think it has absolutely nothing to do with that. And I think part of the reason it has nothing to do with that is because, well, people of all body types eat all kinds of different foods. But like if someone eats at McDonald's and people say that's disgusting and you're a bad person is what they really mean. I think saying that thing you're eating is disgusting. And the subtext.
I think you are a subpar human being.
You are disgusting. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so strange how that judgment has become like thinking someone, and not even from like a vegan standpoint, just from like you're eating what I think is disgusting, and therefore I think you're
I mean, if I
moralized.
don't like Doritos, which are vegan, and I say I don't like them, you're eating Doritos, you monstrous animal.
Yeah. You swamp beast.
Yeah, exactly. That's what people mean. And it
You bush witch.
I would like to be called that, actually.
You witch in a bush. I called Ed Sheeran that once.
Yeah?
You witch in a bush.
Does he know you called him that?
No, I said to the radio. Vice did Michelle, do you know anything about Vice? Vice did a thing where they interviewed me for this piece on like comedy. Mm-hmm. Like the piece, they're trying to paint me as like I think like the future that conservatives fear.
How exciting!
But they came at me like the guy who interviewed me was like this guy who was just violently vaping the whole time, and like he was a monster. And I know that they just completely sidewinded me, and like for like a half hour he's like trying to like be like, can jokes hurt? Like asking me like like these questions that I'm not ready to like.
What does that mean? Can jokes hurt?
He's trying to be like things have gone too far in college campuses, and like they were doing a story on this college that I was performing at, Lesley University in Cambridge, and I was the one comedian or something in like 6 months or a year that they've been like, okay, he can perform here. Because whatever, like not gonna like the student body is like.
Because you're not particularly, your stuff isn't very political overtly.
Well, no, it's just that it's not. I'm not like offensive. Like it's not like they were saying like the Vice is I think trying to make me seem like safe spacey because like my audience is very queer, like with young, but this is young folk and whatnot. But yeah, I'm terrified of the way Vice is going to paint me. I'm like.
That's interesting.
It's like a fear of mine right now. It's coming out in like a couple weeks.
Do you think that they wanted you to say, I provide a safe space for all these, and the subtext would be like all these weirdo freaks in college who can't look at a Republican without dying?
Yes, exactly.
Huh.
Yeah, so, well, yeah, that's why I'm a little, which like I'm happy with, but I just don't want to be, it's terrifying to be thought of to be on the back end of
also
a piece that they're trying to do against something.
And this thesis is incorrect. The snowflake thing.
Of course.
It's absurd.
Of course. Right. And so like, yes. So that's
interesting. Oh, I can't wait to see how that.
And I said some bad stuff about Jerry Seinfeld because they were like.
Yeah, but a lot of people have. It's not going to be unique to you.
Good. I mean, yeah.
He's a cranky old man.
That's what I said. He's ornery.
Yes.
In his suit and sneakers phase, he's ornery.
He's a multimillionaire. He can handle being called ornery.
On Vice, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
anyway,
that's fair.
why did we start talking about that?
Oh, because I went off on LA Weekly because I'm so injured by it. I am a snowflake, a bruised snowflake. But one of my writers, Clarissa Way, she writes about Asian American culture a lot, and she did an article for me that I'm not going to link to in the show notes because it's still on LA Weekly, so they can't have the clicks. But I do want to give credit to Clarissa for writing this piece about Boba.
Retroactively, they get all of your old the archives?
They would get all those.
Oh, God damn it.
And then sell to the advertisers, yes.
Oh, damn. That's dark.
But she wrote a piece about it, and basically there are two stores in Taiwan that both say that they invented it. Boba tea. Usually these things aren't invented by any one person. It's kind of a group thing.
Like an old man claiming he invented the double stuff Oreo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Exactly. We can keep that. Yeah.
So she talked to her parents and people of her parents' generation and said that when they were growing up, it was a drink with just the same type of tapioca that you would find in tapioca pudding. So small white tapiocas, tapioca, as you said.
Yeah.
And she also said that she said boba was slang used to describe women with large breasts.
Oh, there it is again.
Yes.
Okay.
And so when we were in college and first heard the word, we were embarrassed by it. Yeah.
Wow. Wait. I'm sorry. She was the one who invented it?
No. She was talking to her mother who was in Taiwan at the time that boba tea was becoming popular.
Got it.
But
And they blushed.
yes, they blushed. But she also said that she feels like it doesn't mean large-breasted women anymore. It just means this drink.
Okay.
So
it would be like in America the equivalent of like an old outdated term for it would be like a store being called like what's an old breast gazungas.
Yeah.
Like a new thing.
Yeah, and that just meant large
Cans.
pizza now. Yeah, cans. Oh my God, there are so many fabulous and different ways words for breasts.
Oh yeah.
That are just so great.
Oh yeah. People can't stop thinking about them.
Grand Tetons, for example.
Grand Teton. Well, that's a mountain range, isn't it?
Yeah, and it means big titties.
Oh my God, of
That's
course.
my favorite Americana fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
Grand Tetons means wow.
Because it's French, like Grand Teton.
Grand Teton. Bon weekend.
I mean, you think about some fur-clad Frenchman out in the wilds.
Yeah. Yeah. Bon weekend. Le Grand Teton.
Yes,
Some horny
exactly.
Frenchman in the 1500s? 1600s?
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Well, maybe. That's why they would have still been lonely. They couldn't interact with the locals yet. They hadn't developed a shared language.
Yes.
Just out there trapping beaver.
Okay.
Not the fun kind.
Nah, I've been good. But then, out here trapping beaver.
Oh,
that was like a conversation of like two guys catching up in a bowling alley. How you been, dude? Good. I'm out here in Cleveland trapping beaver. Oh, sick, man. Anyway. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and
Matilda,
yes.
your dog is sound asleep. Oh no, she's awake now.
Well, because you said her name, and she thought, someone said my name. There might be a treat.
Oh, sorry.
But she's so used to recording now that definitely when we started this show, she would be a little more hyper.
Right.
But now she gets excited because there's a person here. But then when we sit down, because these are always the positions that we're in.
So she's
she's like,
she gets the routine.
People are just going to talk and be boring for an hour. I'm not going to get any treats. This is bullshit. Might as well take a nap.
You're right. Fuck this.
Yeah, exactly. And she's not wrong.
Yep.
I should also mention that in Vancouver, BC, apparently they call it bubble tea.
The Couve.
Yes. Now,
I love people from the Couve. Grimes.
Is she from there?
Oh yeah.
But she can't be trusted.
Not anymore. That broke everyone's heart.
It's very
It hit everyone
suspicious.
so hard.
I like the joke that she's dating him because he's the only one who might be able to get her back to her home planet.
Yeah, I know.
That pleased me.
But that's like everyone thought exactly the same. It's like it's like she would be the best person to meet aliens. Like if he's gonna send an ambassador,
It's symbiotic.
It's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Still though,
It's
God, he sounds like
upsetting.
such a nerd now that he's on Twitter. Oh, Elon.
I know Twitter really. It's so easy to de-glorify yourself now. Like they're like you can, if you get out of any shroud of mystique, people very quickly like Donald Glover not being on Twitter is so, or like tweeting like just his video.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because like,
No, it's perfect.
yeah.
You know the phrase, the saying, never meet your heroes?
Yeah.
Honestly, never follow your heroes on Twitter either. Within 3 tweets, you will be heartbroken. So not to bring everything back to a completely corporate and boring moment, but there are some...
Fuck the system.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's preface it by that. But some boba shop owners actually give credit to Starbucks because Starbucks culturally led the way in being like, you're an adult and you can have this milkshake in the middle of the day. Oh. We just gave it an Italian sounding name. So it's elegant.
You're right, because before then they probably just were kind of living in diners, right?
Yeah.
You would have to like go
Yeah.
to... Wow, yeah, it wasn't like a go back to work.
That's what a Frappuccino is. Let's be clear. A Frappuccino is a caffeinated milkshake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so is a boba milk tea.
Oh, certainly. Wow, yeah. So the boba places are thanking Starbucks for the alley-oop.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sure not all of them, but enough of them to be like, we hate to say it, but
Yeah.
they made it culturally acceptable.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Are they emailing the same address that you email at 3 a.m?
Probably. Thank you so much. But also, please don't come into my neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
You would ruin me. I love you.
Right.
Yeah. It's very emotional.
Right. Yeah, so they made it cool for adults to have a little bit of a sugary treat.
Yeah. A little liquid sugar in that absurd big straw. Again, for our listeners who haven't had this, seek one out, and it's a whole experience.
Right.
The straws are extremely wide because you have to be able to fit the tapioca up through the straw when you're drinking it. And again, it's about 2 or maybe even 3 times the size of tapioca pudding.
There's a giant straw.
Yeah, yeah. And then in some places, they have this whole machinery set up where they fill the plastic cup and then they
laminate the top.
I
love puncturing that.
Yes, exactly.
The thin ice thing.
And the huge straw, one end is pointy. You puncture it.
It's jagged. Yeah.
It's like a Capri Sun.
Yes.
It employs Capri Sun technology.
Yeah. I think Elon Musk was behind that.
Everything great he was.
Yeah. The Capri Sun
absolutely.
tech.
Oh my goodness. I think we figured it out. We know what plant boba comes from.
Yes.
It comes from the yucca.
Like the yucca.
Or the cassava, whichever one you want to call it.
Which is carb heavy, but it's not going to, help you run a marathon.
Yeah, well, unless you believe that... you can't make an app on just carbs. That's true.
Right.
That's a fact. Ask anyone.
I'm trying to think of an app that... I bet they made the Dropbox app just on carbs.
Because it's so, steady.
Yeah, it's just like...
This exists.
Yeah, if you have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The ingredients were all part and parcel of Southeast Asian treats already.
Yes.
Came together in group think, named after boobies.
I love that. Wow, no, this has been really... I know so much about boba, and I can't wait to bring this information to my boba supplier tomorrow around 3 p.m.
You'd be like... Okay, Chris.
There's someone behind you, Chris.
Yeah. No, but another thing.
I think I may have accidentally promised her my Vespa. She's like this attractive woman, and she was like, I love your Vespa. And I was like, if you like it so much, it's yours. And I was joking, but she was like, do you mean that?
Oh, no.
So I think I might have to give it to her.
You got in over your head with flirting. It's happened to the best of us.
Yeah. I flirted.
At least it wasn't
to my own
or
financial
something.
ruin. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're fine.
Or my
it's
bangs.
Fine. What's a Vespa?
At least it's not my bangs. Do I have bangs still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you give them up for nothing?
No. I'm never giving these up.
Nice.
When I don't have bangs. Oh, God. And I came over here. I haven't shaved in a while, so I look like a real community organizer. Sorry.
You're the community organizer of comedy.
Yeah.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, where can people find you on social media? Even though they shouldn't follow you because you'll ruin their perceptions of you.
Look me up at WeBuyUglyHouses.com. / Chris Fleming.
Okay, if that's really what you want, leave it as is.
I'm on Instagram. Chris, do you know my... I need to follow you on Instagram now.
Please do. I love getting new followers.
What's your Instagram?
My personal one?
Yeah.
Catherine.
No, I don't want your corporate one.
No. Catherine_Spires.
I thought it was Spears. I've been saying Spears around town.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I kind of actually think that maybe my family has an attitude problem and we just like correcting people because everyone pronounces it Spears. But apparently it's Spires.
Spires.
Yes.
Catherine Spires.
And are you just at Chris Fleming? I can't remember.
Chris Fleming.
Chris Fleming. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. And you do make good Instagram content.
Thank you.
It's real good.
I appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, Matilda's getting all uppity, so I guess we should end it here so she can bark to her heart's content.
Thank you, Catherine and Matilda and Michelle, for having me. This has been a wonderful experience and enlightening, and I know so much more about Boba than how I began today.
Good. That's what we aim for.
So thank you all.
Thank you.
Woke up, only one drink on my mind. Not Starbucks, had no coffee, beans to grind. It's Taiwanese and it's so good all the time. We live in that boba life. We call it boba, you might call it bubble tea. Fill up a stamp card, might get a couple free. It's Chinese culture to stay with a cup of tea. We updated the pearls and sealing machine. Hate to say boba's for girls and kids, cause the flavors are fruity and the straws are big. Ice milk and pudding, fruit tea with aloe. Something for everyone, young kids to adults.
Milk tea or fruit tea, it's got so many calories. Boba means boobies. We don't even have to try, cause we're living boba life.